25 games. And so that's why my prediction of goals still stands.
Sounds good. Either way, it should be for a good cause, because as we know, every goal that's scored, $20 is being donated towards the Firies. Yeah.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to our major sponsors today. T1 Limited, R&B Lawyers, DRB Group, Deluxe Cleaning, Synergy Move and Nourish, and the Fraternity Club.
Okay, we're now going to throw to Andrew Byron for today's pre-game ceremony.
Put your hands together for the two teams as they enter the field. In the fluoro yellow from Sydney, up in Sydney. And in the orange, the country team. Big round of applause for the girls as they enter.
As the players are walking out here, you'll notice there are 4 brave firewomen from the New South Wales Rural Fire Brigade that are here on behalf of all firefighters everywhere who are doing it tough, fighting the fires. May we all remind you that this is just the warm-up game to the main Albion Park City versus Wollongong Wolves event, which is at 6 o'clock. There is still time for you to come down here to Ian McLennan Park in Cranbrook Range and catch all the action. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name's AB and welcome once again to Ian McLennan Park, and welcome to those online watching the Football for Firies on Barn TV. The pre-game ceremony for today's Women's All-Star charity match between Sydney and Country. Today, we pay tribute to those affected by the bushfires that have devastated Australia in recent months. We hope today can help bring relief and raise much-needed funds for those affected on the South Coast and Southern Highlands regions. To begin today's ceremony, please welcome Richard Davis, a local elder from the Dharawal Nation, to perform today's Welcome to Country.
I'd just like to say things in regards to the Firies. I think Lou's just said a lot of it, but the great work that they've done over the last 3 or 4 months has been invaluable to our communities, saving our, the communities that we live in. So I can't, respect them enough for the work that they do. So let's give them another round of applause, right? I'll do my thing and then get on with the important stuff, I suppose. Yolanga, Nagami, Nalama Yui, Niges, Gilligas, Nangang Nang Dili, Nangamang Ning Namabi, Delagora Ni Nangang, Bajar Ni Malai Ni Yuin, Niges, Yolanga. Welcome to country, welcome to land. The land we are meeting on today is the land of the Dharawal people. The Dharawal nation comes from the south of Sydney down to the Chalet Group and Southern Highlands. Within that nation, the 13 Aboriginal tribes, clans that have occupied this land for a very long time. Aboriginal people have been here, the first people of this nation. And that's something that I'd like to get across to people, that have that respect that Aboriginal people will always be the first people of this nation. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past and present. Without their perseverance, endurance and fight over the years, where would Aboriginal people be? We're here, we're not going anywhere. So my elders are a very important people, my heroes. So without any further ado, I hope today's success. We're here for a great cause, and I hope that we raise a few dollars for the Firies and the communities, and I hope the game's a great game and the two teams come out and showcase their skills. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to hand you over to FFA board member Amy Duggan to lead today's minute's applause for the bushfire victims on behalf of our football community.
Firstly, can I just echo Richard's sentiments and patronage to our traditional owners of the land. Welcome everyone to Wollongong, to our beautiful football South Coast field, and congratulations to the teams here today. It's been a trying couple of months with the fires across our regions and down to the border and up into the Highlands. Our Firies have done a wonderful job, the best they could, but there are victims of this bushfire crisis. And today we're here to dig deep for the Salvation Army, Football for Firies appeal, and we ask you to do that. Dig deep, throw your money in for the Salvos. It's going to a really worthy cause. I want to congratulate Adrian on putting this event together today, all the sponsors, all of those involved who worked really hard to get this event off the ground. It's wonderful to see the Firies here too, and feel free to go over and check out the trucks a little later. And a big thank you to all the players who donated their time as well today. Our locals here and our city girls over there, and sorry girls, but I'm on this side today. Good luck to all of you. Thank you to the crowds who's turned up so far. We are expecting a big crowd tonight. Of course, we have the men's game coming up after this, and plenty more entertainment and fantastic stuff to come today. We are going to start today's game, instead of a minute's silence, with a minute's applause. So I'm going to ask you all stand up, get your clap hands ready, and we'll get Amy to count us in to a minute's applause for our Firies and the victims of bushfires. Let's go. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, to the teams. The best of luck. Enjoy the day, and don't forget to dig deep.
Okay, so as the support staff are leaving the field, can we remind you that it is the country team today playing in orange and the Sutherland city team playing in fluoro yellow. And can we also remind you that we are accepting donations in any shape, size and form. So if you could please click on the link in the video description and donate some money, it would be really appreciated to all those who are suffering and who need support. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the two lineups on the field for today. First of all, the team from City in the fluoro yellow, or wine green. Number 1, Linda Barter. Number 2, Jennifer Lisbeth. Number 3, Rick Christie. Number 4, Emily Fraser. Number 5, Jasmine Streppy. Number 6, Angelina Pastoris. Number 7, Isabella Georgeski. Number 8, Ursula Brinchak. Number 9, Geordie Barker. Number 10, Jessie Abbott. Number 15, Morgan Maxwell. Number 16, Janan Pabani. Number 17, Iman Kanani. And number 32, Jaslyn Lawler.
Today's referee is Greg Reed, pictured in the centre.
Country team in the orange. Number 1 in goals, Alicia Jessel. Number 2, Jasmine Lamont. Number 3, Ricky Ring. Number 4, Ash Kostevsky. Number 5, Jade Watson. Number 6, Michelle Carney. Number 7, Chloe Middleton. Number 8, Danica Mardos. Number 9, Kayla Austin. Number 10, Tanea Davis. Number 11, Bronte True. Number 12, Margot Chauvet. Number 13, Jessica Hanley. Number 14, Christina Glisic. Number 15, Eliza Cowan. Number 16, Michelle Piscani. Number 17, Claire Duffy. Number 20, Sarah Olwen. Number 21, Riley McGartland.
And so it's the country team that kicks off today, kicking from right to left. Looking to assert themselves in the game with some possession early on. Oh, just giving the ball away and she's won it back again. Oh, it's well worked down the right-hand side here. Plays the ball infield. Oh, they could be in here. Ooh. Sutherland regain possession and look to head forward for their own attack. Oh, snatched back here by Chloe Middleton. Middleton here. Oh, flashed across the face of goal, but calmly collected by Barter. Nope, referee doesn't see anything wrong with that. Waves play on. Sutherland looking for options. They're struggling to break through and pass their way through this country midfield. But they've found some space here now. Foul on Barter there. Free kick played short there.
Yeah, and I think we've already seen what the precursor for this is going to be. You're seeing the Sutherland team holding a lot of possession here, and it's all about how the country team are able to counter now. Quick break here.
Here we go, it's Carney here, through on goal. Squared in the middle. Oh, shot straight into the gloves of Barker.
Yeah, it was a case in point there, a quick break, and just lacking a little bit of quality in the end.
And they've decided to go the long route this time around instead of trying to play it around from the back. Just nonetheless work well for them as they look to break down this left-hand side. It's now Barker on the ball. Tries the infield cross, which doesn't work, but the ball is recycled back as City look to go forward. There's a lot of space here on this right-hand side. There's quite strong defending there from the country midfielder. But it's out for a goal kick. Oh, they're working down the left-hand side here. Middleton here again on the ball. She's looking good this opening 5 minutes. The Sutherland here looking to spark an attack of their own. But it's quickly snuffed out after a poor pass from Sutherland once again looking to pass their way through, maintain some possession and get some control of the game here. Oops, snatched back in the middle by Middleton. It's looking good, and it's a 1-2 there. Oh.
Well, again, it's the speed that's catching out the City team early on here. They're losing the ball in poor positions, especially in their own half, and it's just creating so many opportunities for the country team.
Oh, it's poor pass in the midfield. And it could be... Oh. The ball snatched back there by Matsaridis. Oh, strong tackle there from Davis. Oh, this is good here from Branajak. Ah, it's well away there. Falls into the path of Carney. He tries to play in Middleton. Oh, just intercepted there. That's Mastori's passed another one there on his right-hand side. Faced up against the defender. Cuts it back, but it's intercepted. Ooh, tough ball there for Carney, but she's going to chase it down. Keeper's gone. Oh, poor pass there, given away in midfield, but won back again by country. Sutherland inviting pressure on them here in their own defensive third. However, keeper Barter's just taking her time, looking to pick out the right option here. Going short. Play this infield ball. Oh, it could be Barker away here. Barker plays the neat infield ball to Maxwell. Maxwell's in. Oh, the pass just falls short of Branajak. Looking to get a crossing position in here. Oh, blocked out there. It's well worked here down the left-hand side. It's going to look to be crossed in here. Well away here by country, looking to spark a counter of attack on their own. So Tim, how do you see this first 10 minutes having been played out?
Look, I think it's been interesting. I think we've seen a classic contrast in styles, in the way they play. I think you've seen the City team dominate the ball and look to try and pick passes through the country team, and I think you've seen when they have lost the ball, it has created quite a few openings. The speed, especially winning it towards the halfway line, there's a lot of space, and here's another case here.
Once again, country look like they're set up to play on the counter-attack here.
Yeah, well, I think that's exactly what we're going to see today. We're yet to see a real quality chance created by City yet, and again, a high line here has caused them problems.
And it's country here down the right-hand side, looking to cross it into Carney. Found her head. Just jumped.
Yeah, and you see that's the quality there. It's a good delivery in, and it creates havoc in the box, and they almost find the opener.
Oh, long-range effort. Oh! Well saved there by Barter, who got her fingertips to it.
Yeah, it's a good strike, and I think that's what can happen, you know, when you give players space outside the box. Again, see, it's a bit slow here for City. You know, they're taking their time on the ball, and it's allowing the country team to get back into position.
That's right, they'll be looking to play their way through this country midfield, but the defence their shape is staying strong at the moment, and Sutherland are struggling to find real openings. Yeah,
definitely. I think you can see it's a little bit slow, the way the ball's moving here, and they're just getting caught on it. This pressure here, it's really cutting off the options. And once again, the ball's lost. And now here's where they really need to break fast. But again, given away.
It's Carney now on the ball, sidesteps through one defender. And it's played back to the goalkeeper here. Sutherland again looking to reset, trying to find an opening.
Yeah, what the country team are doing well here is they're keeping it compact, especially in the middle, and it's really making it hard for the City team to break through them. And once again, possession is relinquished.
Oh, something. Nah, just caught on the ball there by Ring. Long ball there, Sutherland resorting to going route one early on here after struggling to find space in the midfield. Through ball there, still on though for country as they continue to hold the ball in midfield. Yeah. Barker offside there, choosing to leave the ball instead for the goalkeeper and setting up again. Oh, it's well won there by Carney. Ring, Carney, oh, that's offside. Looked like a close one from up here though.
And now is the perfect time to make sure, if you guys can donate, that would be great. We are here for an important occasion. Obviously Australia's really suffering with the fires now, and I think An occasion like this can really bring people together. Money in any form really does help, and more than ever, we certainly do need it. The link is in the description of this video.
Oh, Christie just overrun it there, trying to break away on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and I think, look, we've seen the game slow down a little bit here. The City team have been able to sort of control the ball a bit better when they don't have it, and they're sort of restricting those spaces in between the lines.
Well, the country team here trying to create some possession of their own, but are really looking to utilise their pace that they've got up front in the form of Middleton and Ring on the opposing wings. Oh, it's a long ball played into Barker, who takes it well on the edge of the 18, shoots with the left foot. Ooh!
Yeah, and that's a chance, and that's what they can do. You know, you'd almost argue it's a half chance, but from that position, when you do give a player like that the opportunity to shoot, anything can happen.
They really need to be looking to get it into her feet so she can have more chances like that. She's such a strong player for them. Ring. McGartland here winning the ball in midfield and spreading it wide. Oh, it's spread out to Ring. Ring's looked across it in here. Oh, just over the heads of everyone there. But not quite out for a corner yet. As Middleton gets it here.
Yeah, well, there's now been a couple of occasions down that right-hand side where a little bit of quality has really looked good for the countryside.
And you can see they're looking to play in Carney there, who's playing as the number 9, I guess you would say, for today. Of course, with a wealth of experience from the W League and W League stints, including with both Sydney FC and the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Yeah, and I think that was a small opening there. They moved the ball quickly, and there was an opportunity to try and hit this countryside on the break. But it was well defended in the end.
Now it's Carney here, playing the 1-2 with Ring, who cuts it back. Lovely finish there from Matos.
Yeah, it's a superb goal. It's well worked again down that right-hand side. And a bit of quality and a good finish sees the countryside take the lead.
As we watch a replay here now, it's well worked as they spread the Sutherland defence, and the run from midfield by Matos sees them go 1-0 ahead.
That right-hand side, it has proved dangerous so far. And we do see a goal come out of it in the end.
See an early substitution here as Georgievski comes off, as Sutherland look to spark some more energy into their team.
I think one common theme so far is you're seeing a lot more composure on the ball from the countryside. You're seeing they're able to pass the ball around, and that's really helping them in terms of creating chances.
100%. They're looking to play through the midfield, but when nothing's on, they're looking for those quick wingers to get in behind and cross the ball back in.
Which has proved profitable for them in the end. Yeah, you see as soon as the ball does come into the centre, you're seeing 3 or 4 country players swarm the City players in that midfield, and it's really forcing them to go back and creating a lot of pressure.
It's Branajak here on the right-hand side. Sells the defender, crosses it in. Ooh, the header just wide there from Barker.
Yeah, and similarly, the space is on the wings. It is wide, and when you do find quality into the box, you can create chances, and we've seen that so far in this game.
We are now going to throw to our sideline reporter, Nathan Turner, who is with one of the City players. Yeah, thanks a lot for that insight there, Nathan. As Country goes straight back into the attack through the form of Carney.
Am I right in saying that this is the first set piece of the match?
That's right, it's been
about 20 minutes, and we finally see the first set piece of the game.
And it'll be Chloe Middleton looking to cross this in. Going to the near post there, but gets the ball back on the edge of the 18. Will she look to shoot? Ooh, not a bad effort, but
It's well worked, but I think from that position you probably look more for a cross than a shot. But look, again, it's another opportunity.
she has been on form so far in the game. She'll be looking to get a goal of her own. High ball there, won by Sutherland, who look to spread it out wide on the left-hand side here. And they're just overrun there by Kodmani. Another 1-2 there for Akani. Smartly playing the ball to Middleton, who's got one defender to beat here. Ooh, just a heavy touch let it down there.
Again, it's this right-hand side, though, that is proving so profitable early on for the countryside. We're yet to really see the City side be able to play quick football with possession. It'll be interesting to see if they do change their approach later on.
Well, it looks to me they've changed to almost a 3 up front.
It does look that way, it does.
After setting up with a looks like a standard 4-4-2, they've now pushed to 3 attackers, hopefully maybe to get in those wider areas.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the left-hand side winger sit a lot higher, which could potentially provoke a bit more of an attacking influence, especially when they win the ball back. But again, here, the countryside for the second corner of the match.
Middleton here playing it short to Chavot, gets it back in. Oh, she's gone for the Chavot's shot there, just well wide of the upright in the end.
Yeah, well, again, look, it was a short set piece, trying to catch the City side offside.
Once again, we can see the high pressure there from Country, forcing goalkeeper Barter to kick the ball out there.
Yeah, and I think that's what's been the key to their success so far, is that they're not allowing this City side to play at all. You're seeing as soon as their playmakers are picking up the ball, they're immediately being pressed with it, they're having to go back, and from there, that's really causing them problems.
Here, Middleton on the wing. Once again, poor cross there, just off the side of the boot.
Yeah, again, spacing behind the fullbacks, and just lacking that quality again there.
Sutherland once again going short. They've struggled to find success through this method. You'd think they would look elsewhere to start going longer now.
I mean, look, it could be a matter of time. Obviously, this is quite early in the season for both of these sides. You could argue that perhaps, this kind of intense press, can they keep it up for the full game? It's a matter of time here, but it's another opportunity.
Oh, skied there by Glisic. It's a good chance she found some space on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, but just couldn't keep a composure there.
Once again, the space in behind there, especially when they're losing the ball in poor positions. Seems to be that the City players, they only really have one option when they're picking up the ball, and once again given away.
Worked in the middle, they get it forward to Barker.
Sensational ball.
Plays it wide to Brzezinski. Cuts inside in the right foot. Well defended in the end.
Well, I think that's the first time we've really seen this City side be able to create a real meaningful opportunity, and it all became on this right-hand side where you saw them need to beat a few players rather than pass it out. And from there they found that space and an opportunity. But down the other end now.
Once again there, it's Carney in here. It's well shielded there. We can see again how Country are going the long ball option, looking to catch Sutherland off their guard.
Definitely. You've seen the speed that they do have, and they're using it to great effect so far. Once again, see, no options on here. Has to play a much harder ball there, and they should be able to play out from here.
Crossfield ball once again cut out. Looks like they're caught in half minds here, the City team. Whether to continue playing short or look for that long option because there's nothing on.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a real lack of options for them when they do pick up the ball, and that just leads to giveaways in poor areas.
One back again by Country. We're looking to stretch his Sutherland team. It's Middleton here on the ball again, cut out. Now, while it is a positive, the Country have started so strongly in the first 25 minutes here, they'll really be looking to score another goal.
Look, I think when you have a side of the quality of this City side, that they can always get a goal, and it's important that you do get some insurance in a game like this, especially.
You can see there again, Barker's isolated up front. The ball's played in and she's struggling to beat this defender here.
Yeah, well, I mean, when she's picking up the ball, doesn't have many options, looking to try and beat 2 or 3 plays in order to be able to even hold on to the ball.
It's a good turn away from danger there by Fraser, but once again the ball is sent back from Sutherland.
Yeah, I think the organisation of this Country team has been really impressive. You've seen them have the ability to hold on to the ball, but when they're defending as well, they defend compactly and they defend well, and they really haven't given this City side much at all.
As we just saw then, a longish ball from midfield to attack. The lines are really stretched out here from Sutherland, and they're not sure what to do.
Yeah, well, I think, again, both central midfielders there are left behind the ball, in front of the ball, and that just allows runs forward from midfield for this Country side, and that's really causing them problems.
And it's another substitution here for the Country team. With 4 substitutes, quite rare, but we have to remind you this is a pre-season friendly. so unlimited substitutes are allowed. Once again, ball given away straight from the back. They're having so much trouble as Carney gets the ball, he plays it back.
Yeah, and again, it's a run from midfield that's not tracked that creates the opening there.
Carney's good pressing there has won the ball in this right-hand corner. She'll look to play it in here to True. Beats the man. Head up to shoot. Just blocked there by the body of Kodmani. It's again a hopeful ball there. Just giving possession straight back to the country team.
Once again, it is important that we do remember why we are having this game today. Your donations are extremely appreciated. If you head to the link that is in the description of this live stream, it would be much appreciated.
Don't forget, of course, that the main event is still yet to come. 6 o'clock, Albion Park City versus Wollongong Wolves game. Should be a good one. Now it's been dubbed as the greatest Australian team ever put together. Any thoughts on that, Tim?
Yeah, not too sure about that claim, but I think you've got a lot of quality in that side. The legs may have gone with some of the players, but look, I think that class is permanent, and that's probably what we will see come 6 o'clock.
Over 400 Socceroos caps for Albion Park in total. How do you think they'll fare against the young, hungry Wollongong Wolves side who are just coming off the premiership?
Look, I think it'll be a really interesting game for sure.
Anyway, we are now going to throw to Nathan Turner, who is with one of the city players, country players.
Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, just down here sideline with Brittany Ring, the assister of the first goal. Good start by your team?
Yeah, it was a very good start for us. It's good to get the combinations going, and yeah,
how's your fitness going? I know it's a bit of the start of the pre-season, off-season, a bit panting now. How are you going out there?
We only started our training last week, so we had a pretty extended season. Our season goes to the first week of November, so we have a bit of a long off-season. So it only kicked off for us last week, so we're struggling a little bit, but yeah, it's all good.
Any specific instructions by the coach before the game?
Just keep it simple, play the feed, and yeah, play what we see. That was about it.
Alrighty, thank you. Good luck for the rest of the game. Back to you guys up there.
Thanks, Nathan, for that insight. As you can see, the country players have started to show a bit of wear. Ooh, long-range effort there. Slightly off target, but just making sure Barta's on her toes.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's just simple passing so far. More to the point of Brittany Ring is that they're playing it simply. They're not rushing things, not trying to overcomplicate things, and that's really helping the way they're able to play football.
Once again, Sutherland just seemingly unnecessarily making their play from the back much more difficult than it should be.
Yeah, they're just unable to move it through the thirds whatsoever, really, and it's just leading to continuous giveaways. And with the space that's left when you do push players forward, the countryside are having a lot of chances.
Now, they haven't, as a result of being penned in their own back third, Michelle Carney's now got a free kick in a dangerous position. She crosses the ball in. Oh, it's Good finish there. And it's Forcherini there who nips in front of Barker and managed to get the final touch and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about gambling there. It's the ball put into a good area, it forces the keeper to make a save, unable to hold on to it, and it's a good gamble, and it gets them the second goal. They now lead by 2.
A goal for Country, scored by number 16, and scored by Gardy. The score is now City 0, Country 2.
I think that move just there sums up the Sutherland attack in this first half hour. Kick it into her own player.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're just getting crowded out, and that's really is what the issue is here. You're seeing there, once it gets to a certain stage, it's either they have to beat someone or, you know, they're going to give the ball away, essentially. Just a real lack of options.
Cohen there, unable to grasp and control the possession. However, they still win the free kick in the end. Rowan. Headed on there by Carney to the path of Middleton, who runs past the defender. Darting in on goal. Oh! The follow-up from Middleton saved.
It's unbelievable that hasn't ended up in the net. Once again, though, it's good play down the wing, and it's quality into the box. And it's forcing mistakes from the City team.
That's right, Middleton's really on fire here, creating chance after chance. This is a really good showing so far from the Stingrays girls. Of course, this country team is made up of a mixture of Albion Park First Division and Stingrays women players from the Illawarra. They're up against a Sutherland team who last year won the second National Premier League's division. They're faring better here. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
I mean, look, it's what makes it a very interesting dynamic, as you see another shot there coming in from the countryside. It's an interesting mix of quality from both sides. Obviously, you have an Albion Park side that has been extremely successful locally in the last few years. You've seen them win numerous league titles, state cups, a variety of different trophies, and I think that's what makes it interesting, that you're seeing here many tiers of football in Australia, and you're seeing that they actually are quite close together in terms of how they play.
That's right, with the halftime break approaching, Sutherland's coach will be looking to make some changes to try and revitalise the team and hopefully get a goal back in the second half.
Yeah, and I think mainly that would just be moving the ball quicker. I think that it's a bit slow, especially when they're trying to move the ball through the thirds into the attacking positions, and just trying to create more options, working harder to get into the positions to create chances. But again here, there's a lot of space.
Played into Cohen, just struggles on, but she's won the ball back here again on the left-hand side. It's well worked there again from Middleton, who won the ball in midfield and provided the space out wide.
Yeah, and I think it's just that extra energy that they have that's really causing problems for their City team. Obviously, it is early in the season for both of these sides, and you could potentially say that City are feeling that more than the countryside at the moment.
Ball on the edge for Middleton. the ball is finally cleared away by City. Once again, we see there Sutherland's pressing. They're not compact. They're not as a team.
Yeah,
the whole country
definitely
are playing through them quite easily.
It looks disjointed. It seems to be they don't really know when to press or who to press, and it's making it quite easy for the countryside to be able to play through them. And then they're caught with players high up the field, and those runners deep from midfield are creating serious issues.
It's won back again by Middleton, who's coming back to win the ball in the defensive play and look to spread forward into attack.
Yeah, she's been sensational so far. Really has made this country team tick. It's not just the attacking contributions, it's also the way that she's able to win the ball.
There's Carney on the edge of the box. And that's half-time here in McLennan Park. Stands the countryside 2 to the City's 0.
This women's all-star match. The score at half-time is City 0 and Country 2. The goal scorers for Country. Number 8, Tanika Mardos with a goal, and number 16, Michelle Foscarini with a goal. Half-time score, City 0, Country 2. Once again, a big thank you to our major sponsors for Football for Firies. Major sponsors, Vericom, PTY Limited, R&B Lawyers.
We're now going to throw to Nathan Turner on the sideline, who's got one of the City players.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm just down here with Angelina Mastoris, and she's the midfielder for the City side. Just quickly on that first half, what are your thoughts?
And ladies and gentlemen, got a raffle coming around. The Woodlock Wolves under 13s are doing a Football for Firies raffle.
Seems to be a lot of tight passing around the back line. Is that something discussed before the game started?
We decided to keep possession, not try and
And we've got a few clinical players up top, obviously looking to get a bit more space for them in front of goal.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some really quality players up front, but we need to work through them and also the runs that need to be being made, so it's making
So there's 20 prizes, there's 20 in
So I'll let you get back to it, and good luck in the second half.
Thanks there, Nathan.
Thanks, guys.
And if you want to get one, go to the marquee, or the under 13s will be coming around soon as well. On the field now, we've got some of the girls from the Illawarra Stingrays and also Football South Coast. Once again, a big thank you to Tatso and Barbara Heights, RFS Brothers, for donating their truck here today. Make sure you go over and say hello, give them a high five, and check out the great trucks. They're doing great work for our community. Once again, on behalf of the Truly and the Avenue Park City Football Club, and all concerned today's Football for Firies, a big thank you for turning out. Get on the phones and message your friends and get more and more here for the big game coming up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, looking like the second half approaching here. Tim, thoughts on the first half? A thrilling game of football.
Yeah, look, it was an interesting game, and I think that's what you want, especially for a spectacle like this.
Now, of course, there is just over 1 hour until the Albion Park City and Wollongong Wolves invitational match. Who are you looking forward to seeing play?
Well, I mean, look, all of them. I think you're seeing the quality of what Australia's produced over the last 10 to 15 years, and you're looking at a Wolves side that was fantastic last year in their respective division. There's a lot of quality in that side, and it'll be a very interesting dynamic.
Now, as well as seeing people like Scott Chipperfield and Patrick Spansteig playing, Robbie Farah is putting the number 9 shirt on and donning the football boots.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm not really sure if he's any good or anything like that, but it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts to the game.
I hear he's a Liverpool fan, so we'll make of that what you will.
Okay, and we are just going to cross down now to Nathan Turner, who has got an interview for us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Just down here with country midfielder Riley McGartin and also Albion Park midfielder. Riley, what did you make of the first half?
Yeah, no, it was real good. Fun to be out there. Not as much competition as we would like, but it's the team playing together for the first time. So I was just going to chat there and just take on.
He had a shot from distance that banked off the crossbar. Hoping for another one in the second half that actually goes in.
Oh, it'd be nice. Yeah, it was a little bit of a tough with the swallow when it bounced out. But it is what it is. Hopefully I get second opportunity to do it again and hopefully hit the back of the net this one.
And any specific instructions that the coaches gave you at half time?
Yeah, just we're staying really compact in the middle when we're pushing forward, so just utilise that space that we have outside. We've got pace on the wings, so utilise them and then hopefully they come back and just tail in as we have. But Fosco got for that goal there, so.
And no worries, good luck for the second half. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nathan. Now back on the Albion Park Invitational 11, Robbie Farah making his debut. The big man up front, what are you thinking they're going to go with?
I mean, again, no idea how he plays, no idea what he'll produce, but look, he's a wild card. And a game like this, you never know.
The players are out in the field, the smell of Chavapi's in my nose.
It's good,
second
mate.
half
It's good.
Soft. Okay, now for this second half, we're going to be throwing to you guys, the viewers, all thousands of you out there. Please leave your comments in the comments section and we will look to get back at you.
Yeah, make sure you don't write anything inappropriate because we aren't allowed to read that. So please keep it PG, preferably G.
Thank you very much, Timothy.
Well, look, mate, you've got to get the warnings in.
Now, after last night's loss in the A-League by Melbourne Victory with the new coach, how are you seeing their season pan out?
Well, hang on, we've got a chance here, perhaps. It's a corner. Look, I think it's something that was unexpected. I mean, they've been inconsistent this year, that's for sure. But to see someone sacked like that so early in the season, it clearly indicates that, you know, the higher ups, the management weren't happy with what he was doing, and I think, you know, you hear of a bounce back potentially that you see when new managers do come into the helm. Obviously, the loss last night wasn't particularly ideal, but I think they have the potential to make finals. They do, so it'll be very interesting to see how they react to this change in circumstance.
That's right. With Melbourne Victory as one of the bigger teams in the league, you know, the results is everything, and it clearly wasn't falling for them this season. Yeah,
and there's a huge amount of quality in that side. You know, you've got people like Robbie Cruz, Andrew Naboot, who should be doing better, really. And I think that's what's let them down in the end. I think some of their players perhaps haven't performed to the levels that you would have expected at the start of the season, and that's seeing the results that we have seen.
No, that's definitely right.
And once again, we will cross down to Nathan Turner, who has the City coach.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Got the City coach, Alan Edmondson, here. He's just going to be quick because he wants to actually watch the game like all of us. So, Alan, how'd you make the first half?
Yeah, look, I think the other side played quite well. And for 1 week back from pre-season, we did all right as well. Support the ball a little bit better, and maybe hold possession a little bit better, and that's what we're trying to do in the second half.
And that was the main talk at half-time?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're just trying to support each other, play some quality passes, and support each other under the ball. Yeah, that's right.
And at the start of the game, obviously you said players to keep the ball in possession and stuff like that, keep it simple. How are you coping with the country's high press and defence?
Yeah, look, they've got a few more players than us available, so we 1 week's back from training. We're struggling a little bit with fitness, to be honest. We're doing our best, and it's certainly a great opportunity to get some good early fitness under our belt. So we'll try and play as much as we can, and we have done. Not too many long balls, so we'll try and keep doing that as well.
No worries, all the best for the second half. Back to you guys up there.
Thank you, Nathan.
Now, despite the A-League game that's about to kick off, we urge you to keep your eyes on this screen in this
Definitely.
thrilling encounter.
Definitely.
As City look to rebound from a poor first half.
Also, this is for a fantastic cause. We are looking to try and help the Firies. Obviously, there is the bushfire crisis in Australia. And look, if you look at the description of this video, you will see that there is a link that will allow you to donate.
That's right, quite horrific scenes coming from us, from somewhere so close, just down in the south coast. As we can see, the crowd is definitely starting to build here at Ian McLennan Oval. And it's still an hour before the main event.
Yeah, it's amazing seeing so many people turn out, and I think it really does show how, you know, when we do have something to get together for, we really can make a stand and show our support for what is a very important event.
Meanwhile, Country here have a free kick that we hope to extend their lead here.
Yep, this could be an interesting moment here. Could really put a dent in City's hopes of getting back into the game.
Blocked there by the wall. Ball falls out. A bit of a tussle there in midfield, but Country win the free kick in the end. Now, as we cross back to the A-League, Sydney FC are 11 points ahead with only 13 games played. What are your opinions on that, Tim?
Look, they've been sensational this season. I think there was a really important game. I think it was against, was it Melbourne City, where they went down to 10 men. I think they even went a goal down and came back to win, and I think that just shows the character of this side. Could be a chance here, though, in the game that we are.
Oh! It was a chip, a shot, cross. Either way, went very close to find the back of the net there.
Yes, it was a good ball in, and it potentially was going to cause a few issues there if it found anyone. Anyways, back to, hang on.
Here we go. Nah, blocked there by the Sutherland defence.
I think we've seen there that the Country team have been able to sort of hold more possession. I think that could be a ploy from the City side, because when they have had the ball, City, they've been unable to play, so perhaps they're looking to be more profitable when they don't have the ball and looking to counter-attack. So once again, make sure you do get your questions in via the Facebook live stream.
Sutherland persisting to play possession football and work their way from the back, yet it doesn't seem to be working again in the second half. However, the coach did say it was something they were working on. How do you see the positives from a performance like this so far?
I mean, the main thing, especially because it is pre-season, is fitness, and I think that would be the main priority for both of these teams. You know, the season's coming up, and you need to be getting your fitness about now. So I think that would be the main positive so far to note. I don't think we've seen any injuries, which is another positive for both sides. But again, it's just the teams working together, learning each other. Obviously not so much with the countryside. With it's a huge error here. Good recovery though in the end.
Well saved there, as Kayla Austin had a chance there to perhaps extend Country's lead.
Yeah, it was a silly giveaway. There was a poor clearance, sort of skimmed off the side of her foot, which did create the opening, but it was a good recovery and a good save in the end.
Strongly pushed off the ball there by Middleton again. Now, I've just spotted a Liverpool jersey here in the crowd. They are clear leaders in the Premier League so far this season. How do you see Leicester City or anyone else catching them?
Well, I mean, I hope so. Tomas as a United fan, but look, I think they've been sensational this year. They've shown their quality, consistency. They have a way of playing, and they play that very well. But I don't really see any team catching them. I don't think any team really has the consistency to be able to catch them, ultimately.
That's right. They've been developing in the last few years. They've pushed on from the Champions League final defeat to win first the Cup, and then now to look strong in the league.
Yeah, well, I think you saw when Coutinho left, everyone said, how can you improve from losing your best player? But I think they brought in players who fitted the system better. And when you do that, you get a better team ultimately.
That's right. Their front three is incredibly selfless, and they work so well together.
Yeah, well, I think each of them has an individual role in the team. And you see that. You see they understand each other well. They're able to work well together, especially with that press, and also when they look to break forwards, they understand where the runs each other make, and that's important. And you can't be a successful team unless you know your team well, your teammates well.
That's right. Middleton here again in the midfield, winning the ball back and looking to start the attack.
Again, though, in behind the fullbacks, that's where the space has been so far for this countryside to exploit. And we just saw that with City there.
Now, an interesting point you mentioned earlier about Sutherland looking at their fitness for the upcoming season. They only have 2 players on the bench compared to Country's 7 or 8.
It's a crunching challenge there. I mean, look, that could potentially be a ploy. if you're looking to try and improve players' fitness, a lack of substitutes, it forces players to stay out there longer. And that's another good chance.
Skied there by Hanley for the country team. I don't think I've seen much action here in the Sutherland front half at all.
Yeah, it seems to be the same problems as the first half, that they're unable to really break forwards with any sort of speed, with any sort of purpose, and that's leading to them giving the ball away and conceding chances.
Sutherland looking long here, and they've finally got some freedom here with Barker on the right-hand side. 2 defenders to beat. She goes herself. And that's an incredible strike there from Barker.
Most definitely. And it's a piece of individual brilliance there that creates the goal and halves the deficit. And it's game on now.
Back off the Cities. Number 9, Geordie Barker.
But it's been one of the few opportunities where Barker's been able to pick up the ball in a bit of space.
Yeah, and as we can see, she's incredible execution there to manage the left-footed chip right in the corner.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's a quality player, coming off a sensational campaign, scoring a lot of goals, and it becomes natural after a certain stage as a striker.
And that's what Sutherland will be hoping, to feed her more, to create more chances.
Well, I mean, it literally came out of nothing there. And that's all they need to do. If they're able to find her in a bit of space, chances can be created.
But we saw there Sutherland going long, going straight to their front two. It's a sort of a trade-off there between the style of play you're looking for and the effectiveness and the efficiency of it.
I mean, look, that's what they need to do. In the midfield, they're losing it, especially in their back third, and to just completely bypass the midfield seems to be the best option. But you see here again, there's a real lack of options, and caught on the ball once more. That's a good turn away. But again, the space in that middle area, and it allows for runs around her, which means the defender has to come and press her, and then she can slip a ball in behind. And that's been really the way they've played so far in this game.
One back here. Middleton looking again, asking for the penalty. No. Keeps the ball in though. Cleverly around the defender. In the end, well away.
Well, I think that chance there has come from the ball not being cleared well away. It was sort of pushed out onto the edge of the box there in miles of space, and she was able to have a shot which flew just wide of the goal there.
Here comes Sutherland down this left-hand side. We're going to create something. Bit of freedom here. They switch the ball. Into the feet of Barker. Plays a neat layoff to Maxwell, who goes, hitting the crossbar.
Once again, Barker's the key there. Picks it up in that back third with a bit of space, and it really does allow this Sutherland side to flow. And it was a good chance there, and you could potentially argue that it should be 2-2.
And as we saw, it was Maxwell who picked the ball up in her own defensive third and brought it out forward. and spark the whole attack.
And now we're going to cross live to Nathan Turner, who has another interview for us.
Yeah, guys, I've got here country coach Carl Davis. And how was that first half for you?
Look, I thought the first half was pretty good. For a bunch of girls who've come together today, they've played really well. They read the ball well, they read the game pretty well. Yeah, fitness will play a big role today, but I think on the balance, we played really well, so I'm happy with what they're doing so far.
And it was a dominant start to the second half, but unfortunately you did concede. Any change in the game plan from there?
Oh, look, we've got a couple of girls on the bench we'll bring in. Kayla Ross still coming on the left. She'll play really well for us on the left, but the goal we conceded was to a W League player, so we'll give him that.
And any plans for the rest of the game?
Oh, look, for the rest of the game, I think we'll try to hold possession of the ball, try to create chances, first and second phase, and try to score a few more goals. Yeah, makes it exciting for the crowd.
No worries. Good luck with the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nathan.
That's right. As he mentioned, Barker is an ex-W League player, having spent 3 years at the Western Sydney Wanderers. She was in the Young Matildas team, and last year scored 30 goals in 25 matches for Sutherland.
Which did include 5 hat-tricks, which is extraordinary, really. But I think it was interesting what he did say there, the country coach, about holding possession. And that potentially could lead to either more goals or allowing this City side to potentially grab an equaliser on the counter-attack here.
They look to play forward here, however, the offside flag is up. It was a good breakaway as Sutherland was still a little flat-footed from the corner. Just over on there. However, City are in their defensive corner here. They'll look to play their way out again.
Once again, we are looking for comments on the stream. It would be great if we could get your input, get your feedback, perhaps your thoughts on the game. Make sure you get those comments in.
Well, Middleton in behind again. Sells the defender, looking on a right foot. Strong tackle there. Now, of course, your questions can be about this fantastic game of football that we are witnessing. They can be about the A-League, they can be about the Premier League,
be about anything.
Slovenian second division. We welcome all questions here.
I don't know much about that one, Thomas. Once again, just seeing a couple of substitutions there. City using all of their available substitutes. And if you do look beyond the field, we can in fact see that the main event, 6 p.m. kickoff, we are seeing some of those players. Scott Chipperfield on the right there, warming up, getting ready for the game. Oh, and this is a poor giveaway here.
Spilled by the goalkeeper. Sharp defending there to put it out for a corner. As you can see, the Wolves players going out to warm up. They will be taking it very seriously as, of course, their season, their NPL season, commences in just over a month.
Yeah, well, I was privileged enough to watch a lot of them last season. And they're a quality side. They have a way of playing football. I think Thomas James was incredible last year. Scored a number of goals, a number of important goals as well. And it'll be very interesting to see how they play this year, whether they'll be able to continue the way they played or whether we'll see a decline of some sort.
That's right, winning the premiership in their first season as Luke Wiltshire as the head coach. He just pushed some energy into the team and they looked really good going forward last year.
Yeah, look, I think that you saw that instantly. He had almost an instant impact. He has a set way of playing and he's able to communicate that to the players. And from that you see, points on the board.
And despite winning the premiership, they were knocked out of the final series and will be looking to get revenge on those teams again.
Yeah, I think it was disappointing for them because, you know, they obviously expected to be there. You know, Luke Wiltshire himself said that he felt they were the best side in the competition, and I think just, you know, a couple of defeats at the end there has cost them potentially winning the whole thing. So he'll be looking to improve. I think it's good for them that they do have a way to improve and they're not wondering how they can improve. But I mean, look, it'll be interesting to see how they play.
And they showed their quality by winning the NPL National Final Series.
Yes, that was a big victory for them. I think that potentially many may have argued that they didn't have the stomach for games like that, but they proved a lot of the doubters wrong with the way they played, especially some of the defensive work they needed to do. They did need to dig deep at times, and you saw them have the ability to do that, which perhaps during the NPL New South Wales campaign they perhaps didn't see it happen.
Yeah, that victory of course means they get automatic qualification into the FFA Cup round of 16, where they will come up against the likes of the Central Coast Mariners and Newcastle Jets, you know, the highest echelons of Australian football.
Exactly right. I think that's a lot of these players will probably believe that they are able to compete at that level, and it'll be really, really interesting to see whether they are capable of doing so.
That's right, which will only continue to raise questions about a second division. Anyway, we are now going to cross to Nathan Turner, who is with another City player.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm down here with City striker Geordie Barker, and scored the cracker of a goal for City. Well, how do you think your team's going started the second half?
Yeah, look, I think we started the second half a lot better. Our first half of fitness sort of got into us, being our first game of the season, but I think coming out the second half, we're coming together a bit more as a team and we're looking pretty good.
And how's your fitness levels going? I know you just come off a few minutes ago. Will you see you back on the field, or is that you done for the day?
Oh, look, it's up to the coaches. Might see me having another run. Fitness is okay, I guess, for the first game of the season, but you never know, see me back up.
And how are your connections with passing going in the front third for your team?
Yes, the country team's really good in defence, so we're finding it a little bit difficult, but I think more towards the end of the game, I think we're looking a bit better with our connections and our passes, but yeah, the defence is pretty good.
No worries, thanks for your time. Good luck with the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nathan. Now, of course, Geordie Barker also had a spell in the women's NRL with Cronulla Sharks. I know you follow the women's NRL very closely, Tim. Can you give me your opinions on that?
No. I don't know anything about that. But I mean, look, clearly has a sporting brain, a natural athlete, and she's shown her quality today with a fantastic strike.
And as we see with Riley McGartland for the country team, she is looking to become a women's AFL player for the GWS Giants. How do you see these women athletes playing multi-codes? It just shows how good athlete they are.
Yeah, I think that you see that in the way they play. I think they're intelligent people, and they're able to figure out how to play a sport and how to play it well. And you know, why not if you're capable of playing at multiple levels in different sports? That just shows the array of talents that you have. So all credit to them.
That's right. Both McGartland and Barker are such strong figures in their team. and when they get the ball, they can read the game so well.
Yeah, that intelligence on the pitch is important.
Middleton here looking to switch the ball out to the right-hand side. Country of force back, sorry. But you can see by the sheer numbers they're pushing forward, they're looking for a third goal.
Yeah, well, a third goal could be lethal, damaging for either side.
And of course, despite this being only a friendly, the rivalry between Wollongong and Sydney is something that's always been there.
Yes.
And with Sutherland, the Shire, kind of not knowing their place really, it's good to see such good competition between the two sides in the level of their football.
Yes, I agree with that.
Now, as we approach the half an hour mark of this second half, we remind you again that this game is raising money for firefighters and the people affected by fires. So if you could please have a look at the link below and donate some money, it would be much appreciated by everyone who have been affected by these tragedies. Free kick being brought back in a dangerous position. Middleton spotted a free play here at the back post, but it's just been caught out.
So, Thomas, mate, can you give us a bit of an insight into your playing career? Sort of how you've been going recently, mate?
Well, I was in the Barcelona Academy. They approached me, of course, and I was looking really good until an ACL injury effectively ended my career of playing at the high level.
So where do you play now?
I stick to FIFA at the moment, yeah. It's kind of my level now.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. I think esports is the future, mate. You've just caught on before everyone else.
It certainly is the future. You see these gamers making millions of dollars, and with the E-League having its own... E-League, by the way, is an Australian version, and FIFA version of the Australian A-League.
Yeah. Esports, A-League style, FIFA, yep.
Now, your opinion, is it a real sport?
Well, look, I mean, depends what you define as a sport, really. Could potentially have a chance here in the game. No. Look, I think perhaps, I mean, you need the mentality of an athlete. Maybe not the natural fitness of an athlete, but yeah, look, I think that there's certainly a place for it.
I know you've certainly got your eye on the esports game, spending many an hour training on your Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. I have just completed my HSC, and that's all I've done for 2 months. So I still am terrible. But look, you know, it takes hard work, takes a long time, and I'm looking to try and improve my gameplay.
Yeah, you have my full support, and I think you're going places.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate that.
After that touching moment here, Country again on the attack, but it's called out from offside.
I mean, again, just commenting on how many people are here, it's quite amazing, really. Seeing potentially thousands of people.
Once again, we welcome any questions on the stream. And yes, I agree, my commentary is much better than Tim's. Thank you, kind person who sent that message in.
Literally no one said that.
They deleted it just then. You saying?
More than they clearly don't believe it. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The desperate words of a salty man just there.
I deny that.
Strong tackle there as McGartland plays through. In the end, it's well collected. This game has certainly slowed down as both teams are clearly fatigued. This format, 40-minute halves, do you think it's good for a pre-season friendly to have shortened game times?
Not particularly. I mean, you know, games are 90 minutes, so why are you training for something that's less than 90 minutes? So, I mean, that potentially isn't beneficial at all to be playing shortened games because you're getting fit for something that you won't do in the regular season. But, I mean, look, at the end of the day, fitness is important, and getting about and running, especially in the format of a football game, can be quite important. We're about to see a replacement now for the Countryside.
Thanks there, Tim, for that detailed analysis of the substitution that was just made.
No worries, mate. Thank you to Ruddy for sharing the stream. Appreciate it, getting it noticed.
That's right, our viewership numbers are always increasing as we head. As it now turns 5:30, which means there's only half an hour until the big event. I'm not sure if you viewers heard that, but it was the social popular media app TikTok, which was just mentioned.
It's an interesting app, that one. I still haven't succumbed and installed it yet.
You know what, Tim? Neither have I.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you.
However, now having heard that you are not on it, I may go on it myself.
Out of pure spite.
That's right. That's right. The ball forward asking a bit too much there of Matos. However, we must mention that Jasmine Lawler has been the new goalkeeper in this second half with a striking pink kit. What are your opinions on the orange and yellow kits that have been displayed today?
I mean, both are nice kits. They're both very bright, so I'm able to see them, which is probably what is the most important thing. Also for the players on the field, they can notice the difference between their team and the opponent's team, which is also very useful. Perhaps hasn't helped too much with the passing that we've seen.
Anyway, here's Barker now. Chase the long ball. Looks to look in the middle. Yeah, I myself don't like the fluoro yellow kit.
Really? What would that be?
Well, the security guards on the side of the fence are there for a reason, and I think that their uniform needs to be respected more.
Right. I have no further comment. Interesting opinions, though. Interesting opinions.
Yeah, interesting certainly being the key word there.
And again, just remembering that we are here for an important day helping the Firies out. Make sure you do check out the link in the description. Be much appreciated. Give generously, as it helps all of us.
Well said. Man of the people right here, Timothy Gibson.
Thank you, Thomas.
Now as the long throw comes in here, it's a clever turn from Matt Torres, but the ball was cleared out. I'd like to give a shout out to Kyle Topfer, who just said Thomas Phillips is a hilarious commentator. So,
well, no, he didn't actually say that. He actually said that these commentators are hilarious, which I may think is sarcasm, which I'd have to agree with. Yeah, we are pretty not good. But look, we're trying our best.
I believe we're doing our best in these dark and trying times for so many families who've been affected by bushfires.
Once again here, quite a lot of space in behind for the country team to exploit.
Back to McGartland, who steps past one defender, looks to shoot, and is just over the bar. Now, we see McGartland's choice of hairstyle today. Timothy, you yourself have gone for the man bun. Any opinions on that?
I have not. You've misread what's going on here. I have no comment to make whatsoever. I am terrible with anything that involves any sort of aesthetic visions. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's right, looking at that, I'd have to agree with you. It is good that we are off camera at the moment.
Yep.
The country goalkeeper being brought into action here for the first time in a few minutes. Good touch there. Spreading the ball wide. Now we should just prepare. There is 1 minute left of normal time. Can City grab an equaliser here in the dying stages of the match? As Barker goes forward, just past the left upright there. It's a good strike.
It is a good strike, and again, it's a half chance, but she's able to make something of it, but just narrowly past that near post.
And there is the final whistle. As things stand, it's the Wollongong Country team 2 against the Sutherland City team 1. Thoughts on the match overall there, Tim?
Look, I think it was an interesting contest, all for a good cause.
That's right. It was clearly a pre-season run-up between the two sides, who both showed that there's more to come through this season. Nathan, what were your opinions on the game?
Sorry guys, I was just about to get some players for you, but yeah, no, it was a very good contest. I think it was very end-to-end, a lot of possession-wise, but it was a pre-season clash, so you can definitely tell fitness levels were a bit low, but overall a great contest, and hopefully the rain stops because it's starting to drizzle a bit down here, get ready for the big game, but no, it should be a cracker to come.
How were the two coaches on the sideline given their team's performances?
They're very calm. They weren't worried too much just because it was a pre-season clash. There was a lot of just simple sort of touches, keep possession, keep it simple from both sides for that matter, as we said at half-time. So there wasn't really too much difference to that in the second half.
Okay, Nathan, you seem to be cutting out a little bit. We will throw back to the studio here.
What are your predictions? Who's going to win this one?
Ooh, look, despite such a strong lineup from Albion Park City, I have to go with the Wollongong Wolves on this one. They're such a strong outfit as a whole.
Much younger.
That's right. And I've heard from Luke Wilshire himself that if the Wolves don't win by at least 5 goals, they have to do 40 laps of training.
That's rough.
That is very rough.
That is very, very rough. I'm glad I don't play for the Wolves.
But nonetheless fair as we look at the condition of some of these Albion Park boys.
Yes, I mean, look, we're not one to judge, obviously, but I mean, look, they could be great. We don't know.
That's right. A lot of passing, a lot of quick footwork there. It's been a pleasure to have your company, all 20-something of you who joined us today.
Thank you for your support. Make sure you donate.
Please stick around though, because in 20 minutes time we'll have the main event on, and I'm sure no one wants to miss Robbie Farah's footballing debut. Thank you all.
Just before we do go, Nathan Turner, he has another interview for us.
Yeah, guys, I've got City coach John O'Shea here. John, a much better second half from your team, but how'd you find the overall performance?
I thought it was really good. The second half in particular, we've got a half first grade, half reserve grade side, and they've only just started training, so I thought they put a good effort in, and that little bit of sharpness just isn't there at the moment, but I thought both sets of girls played really good.
And there was a young goalkeeper come on in the second half, Jasmine Lawyer. How did you think she went?
Yasmin, I think, is 17 and she's got massive potential. So whether she gets into first grade this year, we wouldn't be surprised, but she's definitely one for the future.
And now looking forward, many other pre-season matches before your season starts?
Yeah, I think we've got about 5 or 6 games against WPL 1 teams. So that'll get us nice and hardened up for our WPL 2 season.
No worries. Well, all the best for the season during the year.
Good on you. Thanks very much. No worries. Thanks.
I'll try and get some more players for you guys, but for the time being, we're just having a quick clap and an applause for the country girls.
Make sure you go up and give them a big high five. Big round of applause for our Firies.